Doesn't seem to be working. Oh, it does seem to be working. That took a little bit. Okay. Okay, we're cooking with gas, I think. Okay. 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 Key mailer. Oh, no, I didn't get the keys I wanted, but okay. Yeah, we're trying a restream, or trying to stream multiple channels. Let's look at YouTube. Let's see if YouTube is going through. Oops, don't go dark on me, Xbox. Don't do that. That's how long I've been trying to make this work. Don't go dying on me. Don't go dying on me. Do. Okay, this is working. Holy crap. Okay. Good stuff. I'm going to go to my stream dashboard. And we're going to see what happens here. Because I think this is working correctly. The multi-stream. Fascinating. Well, yeah, gonna see if this is functioning over here. Because if this is the new chat, then we'll see. Oh, my headphones. There we go. Okay. Huh. Well, yes, French fry, because I am actually, that's why I'm playing Bond as well, because I'm trying to see if this restream thing works. Kim talked to me about it a while ago. This is loud. But right now we're streaming to both Twitch and YouTube. And I think both are available. Both are working. Yes, both are working. Huh. Very fancy, isn't it? Hopefully I'm not playing in 4x3. Hopefully it's a widescreen. Shut up. So yeah, we're going to play this for a little bit and see how it works. Worst case, we'll play a little Black Ops and put on some music. Not new Black Ops, I mean old Black Ops. Figured everything's fine. So yeah, this might be how we do streams now. I mean, maybe we'll do 2 different platforms. We'll switch to widescreen. Because I not recently, like in the last hour wrapped up an interview, so I figure let's try this. I've been meaning to do this for a little bit, and I figured it out this morning. So yeah, I still have my phone notifications on, and my phone keeps going off with different Discord notifications. So okay, yeah, so it says it's on 2 of 2 because we have YouTube and Twitch. Being able to move while aiming in this game feels broken. No, don't do it. Don't. Yes, okay. I thought they're gonna make that door open again, which means the door I was in front of was gonna close. Hopefully I didn't, like, ruin Lawyer's day. I think he was thinking of streaming today, but I'm not entirely sure. We didn't communicate on that. So worst case, if he goes live, I'll just raid to him. Wait, how does that work on YouTube? Does that just end stream? Am I able to raid? I didn't need to do that on Secret Agent, but it's fine. Who doesn't love some James Bond during the day? Come on. Luckily, their aim is garbage. They shoot like stormtroopers. Well, for the most part. Sweet. Offsite data backup initiated. Yeah, I think it's all working now. Because it says it's on 2 of the 2 services, so that's all set. I don't feel like paying for it, because paying for it would let me put it on even more streaming services. And, well, we don't make that much money. So. Also, what other streaming service would I put it on? Kick? Everyone gets banned. Wait, no, not everyone gets banned off Kick. That's kind of the point of Kick. You can do anything and not get banned. Time for the Burnsy hot tub stream. Shoot the glass. Yes. Very nice. Probably the crappy thing about the restream, it looks like, is I can't put tags under the stream now. I think I got rid of them. That's kind of sucky. One inch of rain on Saturday. Well, that's like many days away right now, computer. Why do you tell me the rate? Why do you tell me the weather now? That's a wise, a ways, not a wise off. Okay, yeah, I think it's working. There we go. I'm gonna keep messing with this until we like have more answers on it. Because I think this is covering another thing. Yes, it is. Okay. Huh. Very interesting. Very interesting, this restream thing. Okay, so we're gonna switch to maybe some cod blobs for a second. Just grab. Yep, but that stream stuff. Where's Dark Forces? Is it still here? Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna play Republic Commando on stream. I'll replace that. It's fine. So this is where the magic happens. I wonder what the trouble could be. Alright, so we're gonna switch over to Black Ops. Play some of that. Let's see, should we catch up on the latest of Eagle and Wolf? For background, so that we can see how that works on the multi-stream as well. Patience for a Jedi, time to eat as well. That's not right. That's not right. There we go. I mean, I don't really... I would feel bad listening to my own episode of a podcast, so let's just go to the other ones. The Five Nights at Freddy's one was fun. Ah, the Christmas one. Or I could continue Silent Hill 2. Let's continue Silent Hill 2. I still got 3 hours left. That's a long episode. Let's see.
Was this guy that murdered the 2 kids, Billy and Miriam Locane, and he ended up killing himself in prison with a spoon.
Let's see what happens. I'm gonna just play split screen against bots. But I'm also just trying to see how these different services work. Because I think Twitch I can just change on the fly.
Now, was it always planned to be its own game? No, I don't think so. I think Walter Sullivan and the whole story with him is just a sort of like foreshadow the Pyramid Head reveal. Because he talks about the Red Devil, and he made me do it, and the only person who's considered red by the script is Pyramid Head. Which is interesting because a lot of people like to theorize that, like, no, they don't call him Pyramid Head in the game, so you just have to call him Red Pyramid thing. But they do call him Pyramid Head multiple times.
Unless we switch from YouTube and actually do stream on Kick, but I feel like that's just that's
even James does, and when he looks at one of the paintings, it's like, oh, it's Pyramid Head.
Yes, he says it's Pyramid Head, and when you look at the Great Knife, he says it's Pyramid Heads. Like, so he already says Pyramid Head a few times. Anyway, but regardless, now we can talk about the boss fight.
Nuketown, of course. That's the good start.
Everything, and I'm sure there's more, but I'm gonna do my best to not talk about every single thing.
One of my favorite things about this boss fight, you
100 kills.
Spend an ounce.
And regular is a good starting point,
or
I think.
even one bullet.
These are good classes.
It's a time fight.
Well,
however, that's
if you don't fire a shot, the fight's gonna take forever.
Right, but he technically doesn't take damage.
Okay, yes and no. So with that fight, it's really interesting. All the damage you're doing is basically like reducing the timer of like that whole encounter. So like you don't have to hit him. You can speed, it's just never hitting him. But like that A doesn't slow him down, the whole time, and B like
There's always a guy over there.
speed up the whole
Wow,
process
my aim is
much
bad.
faster to take out to lower the timer.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's like 3 minutes.
Yeah, and it's a very weird boss. I won't even say it's this boss fight. It's you and Pyramid Head. He has a giant knife
In a room.
It's like a sword length knife, and it's a very small room. He could very easily like swipe you if you weren't at some of the extreme edges of the thing. And that's part of the problem with this boss fight. It's kind of like ooh, each because it's like it's such a small area. He can instant kill you with his overhead swing. So just be careful.
Oh. I mean, it's got a slow wind up.
Oh, it's massive.
But eventually, okay, folks.
I think this is in Black
eventually
Ops 6. This gun.
The water goes away. Pyramid Head fucks off.
Well, there's a siren which seems to call Pyramid Head away.
Hey, Nuke
and
Chat.
that also
French
drains
Fry. We're
the
just
water,
we're
so
playing against bots right now.
Right, which
In-
leads us
in the good Black Ops game.
outside again because we get to.
Well, that's
finally-
unfortunate. I just sent a helicopter into the blind spot.
That's right. I know we spent a lot of time in the apartments, but it was kind of important because it introduced all the characters. Literally, you Angela and Eve run into Laura, so it feels like you get a good preamble for everyone.
Well, speaking of Laura,
that is very, very true.
Dogs waiting for your mark.
Yeah. So on our way
spy
out
plane
from
incoming.
on our way out from the apartments, passing by that staircase that I always make James fall down because he has a
71's in
fall
the air.
animation. It's a front and a back animation. They really went the extra mile on this. It's great. The whole game's like mocap. Anyway, so you run into a little girl sitting on top of a wall, and she's sort of singing to herself, and James like, "Hey, you're the one who stepped on my hand." And she goes, "I don't know. Maybe I did. What's a little girl like you doing here anyway? What? Are you blind or something? You didn't love Mary anyway." She writes it up. So, how do you know Mary's name? I know almost every cutscene in my heart. I'm not looking at a script, by the way. I just ran the
Yeah.
cutscene in my head.
this is true, folks. He does this all the time.
If you look at
He
my
does.
playthrough of it, whenever the hell that goes on YouTube, I am actively mouthing the words as they happen.
Okay, we get it. You like the game.
I fucking adore
What?
this game. But yes, so she knows Mary. How could she know Mary? My Mary? She knows my Mary? So anyway, you keep running and eventually you reach the part where James originally surmised where Mary might be because that was a very special place for him. Haha, special.
But we don't find Mary.
SR-71 ready for deployment.
We find...
Our SR-71's in the air.
No, you're...
Wait, you can shoot through that? I didn't know you could shoot through that wall.
I love Maria!
That doesn't change anything now because this game's like 15 years old. But I didn't know you could shoot through the fireplace.
Maria's in Christina Aguilera's outfit.
Oh, Mash is on. That's cool. He's a cool guy.
You look like Laura Palmer.
Okay, guys, I'm sorry, but yes, you run into a lady named Maria. She looks just like James's.
That's
dead
unfortunate. He
wife,
died before I could do
but
that.
Only her hair and clothes are different. This has got to be one of my favorite characters in all of fiction. I'm having even after playing the game again, I'm having trouble figuring out exactly why. But and I'm hyping her up really a lot, even though she's kind of just like keep track of the whole game.
Yeah, I don't know. You're hyping her up really. You're like blazing the fire.
I think thematically and what she means in the story is immense, but we're gonna get to that at some point. But yeah, she looks just like our wife, and she basically tells us that was this place your special place? Is there any other special places you could have been finding your wife? And he's like, well, I guess there was the hotel too, I guess. The hotel was your special place. Oh, I'll bet. And then he starts trying to walk off, and she's like, well, don't get all mad. It's not that way, it's this way. And he's like, okay, thanks. And then James is gonna walk off, and then she's like, well, you're just gonna leave me? And he's like, well, no, but I'm all alone here, and I look like Mary, right? So I could go with you, right? Yeah, sure. So now we have an escort. Who might be an
Right,
escort.
and we can't let her die. She can take damage.
yes, she can take damage, and if she does die, it's fucking game over. She can keep up fairly well. It's not like you ever have to stop for her. It's not like I can't share it behind, so it's not like that. She's always gonna be like going with you into the next room, even if she's far away. So I never had too much of a problem with Maria. The main problem with Maria is when you're in the hospital, and we'll get to that because her placements are a little annoying in there. But we're gonna keep moving. So now you enter this place which is called West South Hill, which is basically the other half of Silent Hill in terms of the open world map. And there's a lot to do here.
I probably afford to put it on hard mode
First thing
after this.
I always go to Texon Mobile, or whatever the fuck the equivalent name is.
Absolutely, buddy.
Yeah.
You gotta hit up the gas station.
If you go to the gas station, you'll find there's like a pipe sticking out of a running car. And, you know, instead of taking the running car and getting out of there, I guess we should take the pipe.
Well, as soon as you take the pipe out, the car dies.
To be fair, even if you did take the car, there's no roads. Where are you gonna go? Like, you can't fucking drive.
Yeah, everything's closed off.
Everything's all broken.
Enemy spy plane above.
Yeah.
So,
So, aside from that, you also can find stuff, and we keep going.
Cobra ready for
However,
deployment.
did we go to, did we talk?
I know what's next. Yeah, the bowling alley's next.
Cobra standing by.
How did you sit?
I forgot bots have wall hacks.
This is such a curious, and I, God, I love this game so much. I know I've said that like 50 times, but like, also, you could fully like walk around the hotel that ends up showing up in Silent Hill 3, because that's like right over there. Because you come back here in Silent Hill 3, sorry, and it's right there, and it's so fun just to be like, oh my god, this is the place to go. Anyway, so you fucking go to the bowling alley, Pete's Bowlerama. And Maria stops you outside and says, James, I don't want to go inside. I hate bowling. And James, I didn't come here to play, you know. And she's pretty bad.
Heads up, enemy
And he goes inside to freaking, I guess, investigate the bowling alley. So Maria stays outside. So once you're inside, who do you
Which
hear?
is great because it shows that nobody else knew.
But yes. But yes. So when you get inside the bowling alley, you are walking in through like the side door because the main entrance is blocked, and you hear Eddie talking to somebody, and it turns out that this somebody is Laura, okay? And there's a little cutscene that happens without James being there. It's between Eddie and Laura, and it's very humanizing for the both of them. These are two characters that I feel like, or we don't get, especially Laura. We've never actually like formally met Laura. She's just ran away from us on every instance. So anyway, they're talking about how Laura asks, like, so what did you do? What did you do that was so bad? Because apparently Eddie is running away from the cops. And he says, no, it's, God. Did she say, did you murder someone? And he's like, no, I did nothing like that. But they'll never forgive me for what I did. So clearly Eddie did something, right?
But he won't admit it.
Well,
or he won't acknowledge it.
He doesn't admit it. He does say he did it. It's not like he's going, I didn't do. Well, he did actually.
Oh, there we go. Right where I wanted to be.
But no, that's for the other thing, for the dead body, the first one. But no, his crime, he admits to doing something and being chased by the police into town, which is something he neglected to mention when talking to us, which I think is very curious.
But he's so forward.
Heads up,
with
enemy
Laura.
RCXD
I don't know
spotted.
why he's so honest with Laura.
Because I think it's a little kid, and he feels like it's not someone who's gonna look like who's gonna be able to boss him around or anything. Which, ironically, she ends up really cutting deep, calling him a gutless fatso for running away. And he's like, well, why'd you have to call me that? So, Eddie is just, it feels like Eddie is kind of used to that in a way, and he's just kind of like very defensive on obviously weight issues and stuff like that. We see him eating a pizza during this cutscene. So, like, clearly eating and weight is something that is partial to his character, which, you know, may come up later. That's all I'm saying. Who knows?
And these bots are smart.
Then it cuts away, and we're back with James, and we hear, like, this last line. So, who's that lady you're looking for? Eddie says. What is her name? Mary? Oh, no. Laura is looking for Mary, too. So you go into that room, and can you describe this conversation? I feel like I've been explaining it.
Spotted in your area.
No. The conversation between Eddie and James?
Yeah.
No, you do that so well.
Okay. Eddie, Who were you just talking to just now? I don't know.
Cobra standing by.
Well, I'm trying to remember the exact lines now, which is funny because I just said how I used to map them all.
All we keep doing is, how could you sit there and eat pizza?
Oh no, was
That's
there
our
someone
favorite
else just
line.
here just now? Oh, was there someone else here just now? And he goes, no. And then a
71 ready for
bowling
deployment.
ball rolls in, and it makes me wonder, like, where did that bowling ball come from? Laura is like all the way over there. Did Laura roll that? It was such a weird. I get it. It's supposed to indicate, oh look, someone else is here, and Laura got out of here. But it always was curious to me because if you look at the distance, it's like,
Oh,
damn,
he got the
Laura,
ladder.
like, how did you like?
She's got an arm, bro. She's got an arm.
And
She bowls
skill.
300.
She bowls 300.
Yeah, again,
She's hitting
forgot.
all those
Bots have wall hacks.
That's what that is, right?
No, it's strike. It's strike. Anyway, she fucking
Goodbye,
ends
she
up
fucks off.
rolling that by Deuces, bitch.
Wait,
And he's like,
after.
no, we gotta go. We gotta save her.
Laura?
And?
Why should we? She said she was fine by herself. And James is like, Laura? Is that her name? Eddie basically resigns to be. I'm trying to like surmise it without just recreating the whole cutscene. He says, yeah, no, she's fine. That's what she said her name was, and I think she'll be fine on her own. And then he's like, all right, fine, forget you, Benny. I'll do it myself. So you end up leaving Eddie in the bowling
Heads up,
alley.
enemy
Big
RCXD
question in everyone's
spotted.
mind. And this is what goes to show like another thing that's like one of those fan debates. It's like, where did Eddie get the pizza? Where is the mysterious Silent Hill pizza? And it's like, it doesn't fucking matter. He's eating a pizza because he needs to eat for thematic reasons, okay? It doesn't matter where the pizza came from. Come on.
I thought
Clearly
Bone
was
would actually be upset
microwavable
that he
for
has
sure.
pizza that nobody else can eat in Silent Hill,
Anyway.
but okay.
So we go outside, but Maria's gone.
No, she's not.
And we go outside, and Maria's
No.
gone. And we start running, and then she comes running to us to
Oh.
let us know that Laura, she went chasing after her.
Yeah, did a little
Thank
girl come
you,
through this
Jordan.
way? Well, no, because I didn't think she was there. She just went back to us like she was running to us, is what I'm trying to say. But yeah, she said that Laura's too fast for her, and she went that way, which is like this alleyway behind Pete's Bolaramba. So you go in this alleyway and you find that there's like a little small crevice, and it seems like a crevice that only small enough that a kid could get through. So this is a really funny exchange. James is like, it looks like we can't go through here. Is there any other way? And Maria's like,
RSR-71's in the air.
there is. Right through
Friendly Cobra
there.
inbound.
I think it's such a... What?
SR-71 ready for launch.
That's one of those scenes where I'm like, I don't know
You're
where
not really making the case for excellent voice acting.
I
Go
know,
on.
but this is such an in-between. I think it's more humanizing to them because like when James goes to the door, he's like, "No good, it's locked," and she pulls out 3 different keys, or
Out of 3 sexy positions.
yeah, one's like between her boobs, one's like
That was a
in her
lockpick.
pocket, one's under her skirt. Like, bitch, where are you getting all of these keys? She's like Sonic when you hit her and a bunch of keys just come flying out. Anyway, so you apparently Maria has the fucking back
waiting
door
on your go.
keys air to this place. So you basically make your way in through that way. Fun fact, if you try to explore that little entryway again, Maria's like, James, you can't get through there. Like, it's just funny to think. It's like, no, I can, Maria. Hold on.
I'll just be real skinny.
I'll try to flatten myself mentally. But yeah, so
Enemy spy
we
plane
go into
incoming.
this building that's right there, and it
Enemy
turns
spy
out
plane above.
we were in the back rooms of a strip joint. And if Maria has the keys to the strip joint, then that must mean she's a waiter.
See, I always thought she was just a bouncer.
Or she owns it. Fuck, I really don't know. I feel like all we know is that she works there. Like, for the majority, and based on what she's wearing, and I don't know if we actually described her outfit. It's like a pink leopard skirt, a cut-off red shirt with long sleeves. I mean, it's pretty revealing. So I think a lot of people assume that she's a stripper from like the get-go. And there is a note in Silent Hill 3 that's the return of Lady Maria, but we don't even know if that's like the same Maria. But anyway, all we know is that she works here at a place called Heaven's Night.
Hostile
I
jamming our
love
radar.
Heaven's Night. This place is a great vibe. Mind you, it looks a little grimy, but I definitely would love to go to a recreation of that place if possible, ever. Like,
And
don't think
make
you
sure
should,
the
Logan.
bartender's Ark Thompson.
why Ark? Oh, well, that's right. Fuck, that's bizarre. Isn't that bizarre? I wonder if they're
That
both
is bizarre.
referencing something, because dude brings up a good point. In Resident Evil Survivor, there's a bar on, I think it's called Sheena Island. Isn't that what it's called?
Sheena Island,
On
yeah.
Sheena Island, and it's called Heaven's Night. What is up with that? Is there like some sort of like bar in a Japanese story or something that like is called Heaven's Night that's really popular, that it shows up in both Resident Evil and Silent Hill?
Watch it be just like some place they all met at and used to drink together afterward.
That would be fucking awesome, actually. Because there actually is a video of to really, I forget who it is exactly, but like when they were doing the bokeh studio things, it was like Shinji Mikami and like fucking
Friendly dog
Hiryo
inbound.
Kurowaku or something. Like, it was pretty intense too. Anyway,
I was gonna say Kamiya and Mikami probably did that.
Enemy
and
spy
they do
plane
that
above.
shit all the time. Plus in Resident Evil 3, the hospital, there was a hospital here, it's gone now, and you're like, hey, what?
Yeah, they all love each other. They're all friends.
No, but like, the time difference is so vast that it couldn't possibly be related. But it's just so funny to
Enemy
think
spy
that
plane
both of these
incoming.
games have those references. Or not even references, they just sort of echo each other. In any case, I'm sorry, I kind of went off on a tangent. Gonna be doing that a lot. So, this
Well,
is
speaking,
yeah.
we get through Heaven's Night and we're still following Laura. I think she goes to the
She
hospital. We see
runs
her
into
go
a
to the
hospital, yes,
Right, so we just end up following her there.
to Brookhaven.
Now, this is the same hospital as the first game. Or-
Take the AK.
This is actually Brookhaven Hospital. So, like, people who had played the first game and were expecting, like, oh, I know the hospital in Silent Hill. I've been here before. No, you haven't. That was
Oh,
Alchemilla.
see, that's what I... See, I thought it was the same hospital. That's what I
Yeah.
was just asking.
No, but it's interesting to note because Alchemilla is like
Enemy
a
spy
medical
plane above.
hospital. Like, it's one where, you know, like, fucking, you get sick, you go there, you know, for, like, flu and whatever. Brookhaven is a mental hospital. So,
Oh.
a little bit of a different distinction there. That's why there's all those fucking rooms with the padded walls and shit. It's a mental asylum. Like,
Oh, I thought it was just a town plane on me. I didn't know it was a
Enemy
mental
spy plane
hospital.
incoming.
Yeah.
Alright, that makes more sense now.
that's why Brookhaven's the mental hospital and Alchemilla is the medical hospital. So there's two different hospitals in this town. And then it's
Hostile
funny,
SDXD spotted.
Origins introduces Cedar Grove, which is a second mental hospital that's added, and then Homecoming, I think, relabels Alchemilla as a mental hospital, making Silent Hill have 3 mental hospitals.
Does nobody get sick? They're all just mentally ill?
It's
What's wrong with you?
The
oh, man,
retcon's
I'm
dead.
drinking blood. Oh, I'm sorry. All I got is antidepressants.
clearly it's insanity. You're vomiting blood? This is the effect of the demons. Alright, so, sorry, I got a little bit sidetracked there. But yes, so we go into Brookhaven Hospital, and I think this is such a great location. I think that, there's so many different rooms to explore, and granted, we don't get to go through all of them, but it's got that fucking, like, again, when you go to Woodside...
It's got
The lock is
some
broken
great
and can't be
puzzles.
accessed. Something like that. Every
Oh,
single fucking door in
shit.
Silent Hill
Oh
2.
my god. I mean, there's... It sucks because you do return to this map in Silent Hill 3, and I think Silent Hill 3's version of these puzzles are actually better.
Oh, that's wild.
Yeah, I actually love the face.
Yeah,
But
wasn't
no,
winning
the inside.
I wasn't winning against the bot there, Jesus.
Hospital, we got a couple of things we could talk about. I mean, in terms of puzzles, there's the because again, it depends on what difficulty you picked. Because the riddle difficulties, they go from easy, normal, hard, and extra. So there's like a lot of different, which makes it so great too. Because Silent Hill's puzzles are not like Resident Evil's, where there's a lot of math.
I wanna see what
There
Veteran's
almost
like. Maybe we
never
should try that on
is
Nuketown.
any math. It's all riddles. You know,
Yeah.
it's all figuring out the.
And I
pattern of
hate
things.
riddles.
I love riddles. I adore riddles. That's why I love Silent Hill's puzzles so much. If you watch the stream, I'm sitting there with a fucking grin on my face, making notes, going, ooh, this means this, and this could mean that, and it's fucking amazing. But anyway, the keypad one where you have to find the letter out of it is pretty simple, but like it's clever when you think about it.
I don't know how to get back
I'm
there
trying to
now.
think of the order of events because you can do a couple of different things out of
spotted in your area.
First thing I like to do is drop Maria's ass off because Maria in the hospital specifically is a pain in the ass. So remember how the camera like sometimes likes to focus on James when there's other enemies in the room?
Yeah.
So Maria will sometimes be right behind James. So it's like you want to back up to hit the monsters coming at you because you're trying to reorient the camera after it hasn't been in the right spot. And then Maria gets inside the fucking line of fire. And you're like, no, Maria, get out of here. So Maria has a weird tendency in the
The music just
hospital
picked
to
up why.
like, I guess they didn't want you getting stuck on Maria in a lot of the smaller rooms. So when you enter a room, she will be teleported to like a corner of it. And it's really creepy because sometimes you'll be in a room and then Maria's already in the room waiting for you and you're like, what the fuck? Okay, fine. Anyway, so
But
yeah.
we have to get rid of her in a specific room,
Correct.
right?
Enemy care
One of
package
the rooms you
inbound.
can explore, one of the hospitals
Jamming our radar.
has like a bed,
Enemy SAM turret
and
inbound.
she immediately mentions that she's feeling sick. To hold on a second, it's just a bad hangover, and she takes out some pills, and takes those pills, and then right after taking those pills, she's like, well, James says you should rest here. Then she offers for
Enemy
James
spy
to
plane
lay
incoming.
down next to her, like it's so comfy here, like basically inviting him. And he's like, I'll be back after I do whatever I need to do. So you leave her there, and you can return to check up on her and get another cutscene there. But after that, what do we do now? What happens if like?
Cobra, ready for deployment.
I know Laura's in here. Do we go straight
Hostile
there?
RCXD spotted in your area.
Well, we don't go to Laura yet. We have to get the
Hey, watch out
Enemy
for the Sam
Cobra
turret.
heading
You're
your
in the
way.
helicopter
Oh my
yet.
God, that's right. So
SR-71
while you're looking
ready for
around,
deployment.
there's this box that has 1, 2, 3, 4, I think 5, 4 or 5 different locks on it. 2 of them need keys, and 2 of them are number pad, like keypads, like or numbers, like combinations that you need to find. So that's the main like thing of this map is trying to find all the different keys and shit for this one box that's in like this room upstairs. There's a bent needle. Oh, I forgot about this. There's a teddy bear that you can
ready for
like
deployment.
examine, and James will prick his finger on
Hostile
it and get a bent
RCXD
needle from
spotted.
it. And if you hadn't dropped Maria
RSR
off, she's
71's
like,
in the
"Are
air."
you okay?" And James is like, "Yeah, I'm fine." And I like to imagine he's like, "No." But
We
anyway,
also get the shotgun in the hospital.
that's
SAM
true.
turret
It's in the
incoming.
women's locker room.
Great place for it.
That's right. Moving on from there. Oh, I guess we can talk about the roof. Oh, this is the roof. Okay, I know what you're looking at now. Okay, we can do this. So, you get the roof key at some point. Oh, that's in the Maria room. I was gonna say, where is that? Anyway, I'm getting too caught up in that. You go to the roof, and you find a diary up there. And it's a very interesting diary. It talks about a guy who was there, and he went there because he was sick, but then he got better, but he didn't feel like he was better, and he started considering some aspects of maybe not being
Cobra
alive
standing by.
anymore. And even though that he was
Friendly
better,
Cobra
he had to go
inbound.
home, and it was worded in a weird
Enemy
way
mortars
that he
incoming.
had to go home.
That's not good.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, it would be a negative thing. I love the way these notes are written. I could spend hours talking about them, so we're not going to do that. But, after reading that, you go ahead and examine this other...
Oh, I can't get there
group,
anyway.
and surprise,
plane
guess
above.
who's there?
Laura.
That
Oh,
means-
we're not at the first floor patient wing. Didn't we just do the?
No, it's Pyramid Head, and he's on the roof, and he knocks you off, and then yeah, it's the whole health state thing.
It'd be nice to see like a model swap just for
Just dragging around the Great Knight right there. But yeah, so you get it
Yeah, I'm
knocks
getting
you into
SMG
like
from across the
another
way, so.
area that you wouldn't have been able to access otherwise. So he actually kind of helps you out, which is very helpful.
He's always kind of helpful, you know. He always has our best interests in mind. The
Oh.
first time we meet him,
I see what you did
he
there.
gives us ammo. The second time we meet him, he kind of like leads us
Enemy spy
down the
plane
right
above.
way out.
It's almost like we need him or something
Yeah, yeah. It all.
to
Yeah.
see the truth.
But
Maybe one day it'll be time to end this.
but we end up in, I guess, what should have been the telltale sign of a hospital,
Enemy spy plane
a
above.
psychiatric hospital.
Right.
the padded
Hostile
wall.
RCXD spotted in your area.
Correct, and that's where we get, I think, our last combination.
Enemy spy plane incoming.
with Louise box. Now, this Louise box is really funny. We started calling it Louise because I just noticed in the thing.
Enemies
You get a
jamming our
note
radar.
that apparently some dude who's very passionate locked something of Louise's in there, and it's very, very important. So after putting in all the different fucking keys and the 2 codes, you get, what do you get? Tell me.
A strand of hair.
Piece of hair.
You get a strand of hair. At first,
Yep, I remember.
James goes, and there's nothing in the box. Oh no, wait, I'm wrong. There's a hair in there. So you get 1 piece of hair, and you're like, what the fuck do I do with a piece of hair? Well, with that bent needle you got earlier, you sort of have a fishing hook. Sort of. And you can go into the shower and pull out a key, the elevator key, if I'm not mistaken, out of the shower drain.
I don't know if anybody's tried to tie a piece of hair around anything, but that never worked.
It would just snap immediately. I don't think it's very strong
Yeah.
for that to be like that. But whatever. And I always thought it was really weird that the drain has like this green fluid coming out of it. I never really understood.
I thought it was paint.
It has to be, right? Like, what else could it be? I don't know. It's weird. It's so off-putting.
There's no recoil in any of
Second
these
instance
bots.
of
Jesus.
Green paint out of a hole. Now that I think about it, because in the apartment, when you stick your hand in, there's green coming out of that hole too.
That is true.
I wonder what that's
Because-
gotta mean something.
And it's another thing that we're pulling a key item.
That's true. It's another key pulling out of a green leaking hole. What is that about?
Huh.
What is that about? See, we're recording this podcast and I just noticed something new. Like, fuck. Anyway,
Enemy
so you
spy
get
plane
this
above.
key. Oh, is this where trick or treat happens or is that later? No, that's later. Okay,
Oh.
because we have to go get Maria again. So we get the elevator key. We're able to explore some new
Enemies
areas.
jamming
We're
our
on the
radar.
first floor patient wing, and there is where we run into Laura. We can have our official introduction. So
And she scares me.
she scares you? Why?
Yeah, she's terrifying.
Why?
Look at her face and tell me evil is not behind those
Well,
eyes.
it's funny because she's actually supposed to be the least evil thing in this old town. So
No, and she has like 4 teddy bears and she's brutalizing all of them.
well, she's playing with them, but sure, brutalizing is a phrase. When you
Enemy napalm
brutalize
strike
your
inbound.
action figures, I'll call it that.
No, I keep them in the box.
Sealed forever. Speaking of being sealed in boxes, there's gonna be something showing up that's gonna be really fun. to
Enemy
deal
spy
with.
plane above.
But James basically goes, "Hey, Laura, how do you know my name?" Eddie told me. That big fat blabbermouth. Laura, what are you doing here? How do you know Mary? Are you just gonna yell at me again? No, I won't. So I'm glazing through the cutscene in my brain, but basically she goes to tell James that she was friends with Mary, and he immediately snaps at her and says, "You liar!" And she's fine. Don't believe me.
Yeah, he gets really aggressive with Laura.
Yeah, but then he like apologizes and tries to be like, okay, I'm sorry, man, I didn't mean to snap at you like that, but come on, let's get out of here. I can't believe you haven't gotten a scratch on you. And she goes, why should I? That's an interesting thing to note. We've been dealing with monsters all over the place. Even the other characters seem to be distraught somewhat. But why is Laura saying that there's no, why are we worried? That's an interesting point. And even earlier, when, what's a little girl like you doing around here anyway? She goes, what, are you blind or something? So Laura's seeing something, or dealing with something completely separate from what we're doing.
Maybe Laura's the monster.
Walking out, and along the way out from the hospital, she feels it fit to let us know that there was another letter that Mary gave her, and
Right.
that maybe she should go get it. And James is like, yes, you should go get it. Go fucking get it now. So she leads him into an examination, opens the door for him, and then says, all right, James, the letter's in the back. It's in that drawer, I promise.
I love, this is where the well-meaning part doesn't equate intelligence.
It's weird because in a way, it's not like he was 100% duped. Because when he's like midway through the room, he turns around and goes, what are you doing, Laura? She's like, nothing, it's in the back. So like, I think he's expecting it, but he's like, no, she wouldn't, come on. And then she does, and slams the door behind him, locks him in there, and basically says like, starts calling him a bunch of shit.
Probably
Fart
drop the
face
kill
is another
counter
one
down to
because James
half and then
gets
put it on
fucking
veteran, go
also
nuke down again.
a snotty little brat. And you know what? He is a fart face in a few areas, according to some fans. So you know what? Maybe her name call isn't exactly wrong either. There's a lot of truth being flung around with this currency.
Right, but this place that we're locked in, examining room, we're kind of fucked because it's a boss
Yeah.
fight.
So yeah, we're not alone in this room. James is freaking out because he wants to get out of there because two things are coming in through the ceiling. Actually, I guess it's just one thing at first. And Laura doesn't know what's in there, so she doesn't really get the idea that there's a monster in there with him. And James is basically like having to face off against this thing called flesh lips. How would you describe flesh lips?
I never would have called it flesh lips. I would have just said like wall lips. But they also come out of the fucking ceiling. I use the shotgun. It's pretty quick.
Yeah, it's a very good answer, especially because another one does show up until the point where there's 3 of them. And the shotgun has great spread, so you can hit multiple at once. It's close range. Shotgun's like the best thing that you can use for that fight. Just to sort of describe flesh lips
This
a
is
little bit.
the only room with flesh lips, right?
Yeah, this is the only time flesh lips shows up.
Yeah, I don't recall another
Wrong
fight.
class.
Just-
The boss.
There we go.
Right. Does it depend how many, like, what level of difficulty? Because from what I remember, it was only like 1 or 2.
I think it's always you kill 1 and then 2 come out. So like it's not 3 at a time, but there's ultimately 3 in there. And just to sort of describe it for people, it's like imagine a box with like skin covering each of its sides, and then like feet hanging out from the bottom of it. No, this is what flesh lips looks like. Just sort of describe it. And when you're fighting it, it tries to choke you out with its teeth, which grosses me out to no end.
How do these bots
and I never
function?
like being grabbed
Okay,
by
so
these
the
things.
veteran bots
Very
just lock onto your head,
time
like
fighting
through
bots.
walls. That I have to get the
You
jump
can
on them
also use the
somehow.
shotgun, or you use the the plank and have a little bit of a pinata fest, because you can run and swim at the same time.
Again, you're plentiful on ammo a lot of the time, so I've saved the shotgun for such an event.
Yeah, and even then, the shotgun has a tendency to make you stay in one spot as you're firing, whereas the pistol you can walk and fire. It makes this fight a little bit easier too. You can do that and just sort of strafe around. And
Go.
flesh lips really is
That's
amazing
true.
for that.
Yeah, but you could stun them with the shotgun. Anyway, that's we're giving this boss way too much credence because he's not really a boss.
Well, shit, he has a
It's just like-
unique fucking game over. Like, no other... James does not have many animations for death, but there is a specific death animation for this fight where he gets, like, the feet grab him and lift him into the roof. It's so bizarre, and I don't know why. Like, no...
Never seen it.
Yeah,
Okay.
there's no other... I don't think there's any other boss fight in the game that has a unique death animation. Just this one. It's so
Heads
bizarre.
up, enemy
But anyway,
RCXD.
But I don't remember how to do it.
no, it's rare that people would even see
Enemy
it.
spy plane
But
incoming.
I just want to mention it because it's me. So after killing Flesh Lips, things starting to get really hazy. It's curious because a siren goes off, and it feels like
Heads
you
up,
are
enemy
put on a
RCXD spotted.
gurney because you can hear the gurney wheels turning as you are pushed
Enemies
through the
jamming our
halls
radar.
until you're brought outside of the hospital, like in a courtyard on the side, and it is now nighttime. And now everything is
I
rusty.
need to pick up somebody's
And with
rifle
giant
because the shotgun
fans,
does really well
shit has gone sideways.
when I don't get
Enemy
spawn
That's
killed by
right,
bots.
motherfucker. If you thought you were going through the nightmare or other world, or whatever the fuck you want to call it before, you weren't. Now is when it happened.
Not only that, all the walls have like
Hostile
this, like,
RCXD spotted in your area.
Yeah,
Hostile
I love
jamming our
that
radar.
because, like, apparently in one of Masahiro Ito's retcon tweets, he mentions that, like, it's supposed to be representative of James covering up parts of his life, which we'll get into. But, like, I just think overall it adds there's that weird construction work element to it. Like, nothing feels fully finished.
Enemies jamming our radar.
There's a lot of that disturbed in me. Absolutely. I love all of these elements of the
Enemy
other
spy
world
plane
of
incoming.
Silent Hill or whatever you want to call it. Just such great lighting and so dramatic. But I think it's also just really genius because like a lot of just to hold off on doing the whole nightmare segment or otherworld segment until now, like Blue Creek was just a shithole the whole time. You thought it was like the alternate version of the hospital of the apartments. It wasn't. It was just a even more dilapidated hotel from what I gathered anyway. Because the sirens don't really start until the siren calls Pyramid Head away, but you don't really transition anywhere. But in the hospital you do. So anyway.
Yeah, and this is
I like how it sounds like
first
Bone
time
was
it's
worried
like,
about offending the owner of the
I
hotel.
don't want to say the middle of the game, but it's
It is. No, that's
we're
pretty
almost
much the middle.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say we're like wrapping up the middle. Like
Yeah.
we're past the middle.
We're a little bit after, a little past middle. A little middle. Alright, just a little.
A little.
But there's a lot of stuff we're gonna be able to skip because a lot of this stuff is just jumping from room to room, getting different key items.
Right, but we gotta go get Maria, right?
We actually don't. No, because if you try to go back to the room where Maria is, she's gone. So
God,
she's
this is
not
like
actually
playing
there.
against the
What
new
you have
fucking
to
Legion
do
of Hackers or
is
something.
You have to go find the basement storeroom key.
Heads up.
And
Enemy
that
RCXD.
leads you to there's like this. Oh fuck! I just remembered. So you go to the basement of the hospital, and right outside the basement door is this fucking horrible noise. It's like this, I don't know, like crying out insect. It's
Enemy
horrible,
napalm
but I
strike
hear it
inbound.
all the time, and it's good shit. It's one of those sound effects that just happens, and you don't know where it's coming from or what it did, and you're like, what the fuck? But anyway, you go into the
Enemy spy
basement
plane
and you find
above.
a little bookcase there. And James goes, should I push this? And after reading a note that says to explore the basement's basement, yeah, we probably should. There might be something there. So you push, as soon as you're about to push, actually, you finish pushing the bookcase, and immediately through the door, Maria bursts in. James! Mary? Oh, sorry. Anyway, I'm glad you're alive, and this is where that scene happens. Anyway, what do you mean, anyway? I was almost killed back there. Why didn't you try to save me? All you care about is that dead wife of yours. I've never been more scared in my whole life. You couldn't care less about me, could you? That whole fucking, like, exchange,
plane
she
above.
fucking rips it into James, like,
Yeah, the delivery's amazing.
Monica Taylor Horgan, who's the voice actress for Mary and Maria, is just immense. Immense in this game. I think she's incredible. But yeah, go ahead.
No. I was just like, good lord, man. Every cutscene we're gonna reenact it.
I just the delivery is so fucking good, and James is just so like kind of off-put by it because he knows that he should care more. Like, you know what I mean? He feels guilted in a way, which is the purpose of that, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I've
And
kind of
like,
given up.
Maria
This game
even
cheats.
mentions, what about Laura? Have you seen her?
Enemy spy plane
I did, but
incoming.
she ran away. We've got to find her. Then James is all like, well, you seem to care about her. Do you know her? And she's like, well, I've never met her before, but something tells me I have to look out for her. Huh. That's interesting. Mary's
Heads up. Enemy
friend.
RCXD
And
spotted.
that you want to look out for Mary's friend? That's interesting. So, anyway, you eventually go to the basement, find
Enemies
this
jamming
little
our
ring,
radar.
then you take Maria to a fridge, then she helps you open the fridge, which is one of my favorite, it's actually one of my follow notifications on my stream.
Enemies jamming our radar.
It's, thanks.
Enemy mortar team spotted. Take cover.
Because she's like, it's not a pretty, you find a ring in a fridge, and she's like, this isn't a pretty ring. Here, James, you can have it. Thanks. So, anyway, you do that. Another scene you can find is in the elevator. There's the trick-or-treat cutscene, which
Yeah, this is also one of
No, this is my my demo reel.
Oh,
My voice demo reel. And funnily enough,
Hostile
I'm
RCXD
gonna
spotted.
say it here. I actually
That wasn't a headshot. The game said he got me got a headshot on me. He shot me in the dick.
Exactly the one that's done here. It was the HD collection version. But in any case, the trick-or-treat cutscene is fucking amazing. Basically, you're just in this elevator, and all of a sudden your radio, which you have, by the way. Holy shit, we didn't mention the radio back in the beginning that I should have.
Yeah, I'm done.
Remember. But you have a
this game
radio
cheats.
that,
Holy
that
shit.
goes off whenever monsters are nearby. But
Different
this
kind of headshot?
time
I
you
guess
get, like,
so.
a
Yeah,
random
veteran mode
transmission,
kind of
and
cheats.
it's
I don't remember
a game
this
show.
as much when I
And
was
you're
younger.
listening in on this
Probably
game
because
show,
I had
and all
way
of a
more
sudden it
patience.
says that the player is
Or
you,
no, I played
James
Black Ops
Sunderland.
2
You're
veteran
like,
bots
wait,
way
what?
more. I think those were more fair.
So,
Black
it
Ops
asks
1
you
kind of
3
cheats.
questions,
They'll just
and
scan you
go
through
ahead,
walls.
Answer those 3 questions and put in your answers in this box, this trick-or-treat chest that's in the storeroom.
Yeah,
It's kind of funny though.
If you get it,
it's very ornate.
it's very
But yeah,
ornate.
I think-
if you get it
I think
right,
the
you get a shit ton of
stream- the
supplies.
restream is
If you get it
working.
wrong, gas
that's good.
comes out and poisons you, and you take damage, and you can very much die.
For real, you could die.
Yeah,
from it?
you could die from the trick-or-treat box.
Oh, wild.
I know, right?
All right.
But anyway, just fun little things.
Yeah, I think they overestimated the bots in Black Ops 1. Black Ops 2, they pulled back on it. I don't think Modern Warfare 3 had bots. I think Black Ops 1 was the first one with bots.
So,
Because it was
No,
like
but
plain
we're
split screen
getting
on every
close
game
to
up
the
to
end
Black
of the
Ops, I think.
Nightmare Hospital.
And then they
are.
added bots.
We actually are right at the end right now because with those 2 rings, we can put them into this door that has. And I love how they
Excuse me.
describe it in the game. They're like, the door has 3D printed arms on it, and I'm like, what? So yeah, there's these like 3D mannequin.
The
arms
theater or the
coming out of
Pentagon?
door.
They're both
You've
really
gotta
good.
put the 2 rings on it, and then the door will unlock. Which,
I do like the concept of a door like this, though.
but that's yes, I agree
Yeah.
with you
Yeah,
because
it's a
this
good
is
one.
the
That's a good
epitome
one. It's a
of
classic.
Silent Hill's otherworldness. It's weirdness. It's not because I want to compare this to something like Downpour, and Lord help me, but
Let's see.
whereas it'll just be
Appearance.
like
Can I
this
change how
gore
this
thing
chat
where,
looks? 'Cause I
oh,
can
you
see
press a
everything
button
on
and a
this
knife
chat, but
goes
can I
down,
change how it
fills
looks?
the tube with blood, which opens the door. Like this is just so out there. It's artistic. It's thought provoking. It's weird as shit. Why are there door like hands coming out of a door? But it's somewhat like ominously romantic because you're putting the rings on it. You know, it takes a concept that's so dreamlike and abstract and like puts it literally in front of you, and you have to like confront it. And it's not so.
But it
yeah.
also perverts
Interesting.
it
Let's try
Right.
because the lady in the door has Medusa hair.
Right. There's some deep fucking symbolism between each of the, because it's not just like, oh, magical shit happens around you, which is it. What I like about Silent Hill and the way it presents that is like it's the equivalent of you look to your left and you see something, you look away for a second and you look and it's gone. They don't actually need to show the magic happening. It's just happening around you. And I say that
Battlefront.
because Downpour and
try
Homecoming
that.
and Shattered Memories all felt the need to show everything. Like, oh, it all fizzles into sparkle particle effects, or it turns into ice, and you don't even need that. All it is just, it's there, and then it's not. There was a hole here, it's gone now. The town can just import shit into reality, and it can take shit out too, into your own real world. And I think that's fucking awesome, right?
No, I love it for that very reason.
I just love how it's so subtle with it. It doesn't draw so much attention to it.
This is a whole other game, but in one of my favorite instances is a game I don't even care for that much, but it's Robbie the Rabbit in Silent Hill
Oh my
for
god!
the room.
Yes, I know which one you're talking about.
Because you could peek in the other room,
Uh-huh.
and eventually the rabbit will look at you if you keep doing it. But it's like a good reward. Like there's like these little things.
Well, I think that when he does it, it's a reward for being a pervert.
I guess what I'm trying to really like stress is that it just happens. There's not even like a, oh my god, let's make a big
It's
deal out of
organic.
it. It feels organic in how it off-puts you. Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. So yeah, you go through this weird fucking door, as Carlos would put it, and you use that save in the stairwell. Please use that save in the stairwell because this next scene is kind of rough. This is
Yeah, what's this next scene, buddy? It's one of your favorites, I think.
So this is funny because on normal playthroughs, like normal difficulties, it's totally fine. Easy as well. You just literally it's a long hallway and you're like, wow, this hallway is long. That's weird. And then you realize all of a sudden there's something behind you. Pyramid Head is behind you. And you're like, holy shit, he has a spear. So he's chasing you through this hallway
go,
with
let's try that.
Maria in tow, by the way. So you have to haul your ass through this hallway before either you or Maria die, because Pyramid Head will not take damage here at all. You can slow him down by shooting him, but he will not take damage. So run to the end of the room, and then the cutscene will trigger. Now, funny tangent, funny side story that I'm going to just try and get through this really fast. On hard difficulty, Pyramid Head is way faster. Like, faster to the point where just running won't do it. Like, Specifically, you need to do damage to him to slow him down to get past. And the only weapon that's really going to be feasible for that is the handgun. Guess who didn't have handgun bullets when I did this segment on hard mode for my stream?
No.
So,
No.
no, you saw this. Don't act too incredulous because I sent you the video afterward because my solution to this...
Oh, the bong.
My solution to this was, well, I know I
Yeah,
have a weapon that lets me
I
hit
guess the
and
dude
walk at
forgot,
the
and
same
Bone's like,
time,
no, you saw
and
it.
that's my wooden plank.
Poor guy.
So I literally I used the wooden plank and bonked Pyramid Head on the head the entire hallway until I reached the end, and that's how I survived on hard.
And let's be honest, the bonking lasted a lot longer than it needed to. Thank God. But usually just shoot him
Yeah.
with handgun rounds. Don't bonk him.
I mean,
You'll be there for 5 minutes.
only if you're out of ammo. That's the only thing I can think of, because it worked.
Yeah, because the steel pipe isn't going to do enough, I think.
I don't think it has the same as quick of an animation for it, and that's what made it so fast.
Actually, no, I need specialist points because I need to
Anyway,
level them
so
up.
after that, you reach the end of the hallway, and it's actually a pretty weighty scene that happens right here because you enter the
Yeah, but it's an elevator that we're reaching.
Right.
We get to the elevator. The doors start closing. What happens?
It's interesting because the doors start closing as soon as James goes in, and he's trying to open, like he's mashing the open button to get it back open for Maria, but only her hand.
Oh, we're defending.
is
Okay,
going
good.
Through, and she's trying to get in, and I guess Pyramid Head catches up and shanks her in the back, and all we see is just her hand just slowly being pulled back through the elevator doors, and they close.
Which is a callback to the hands at the door at the start of the hallway.
Wait, it is?
Hand getting out of a door.
I didn't even think about that, but I guess that's...
Nope, he's just
that's
fucking with you.
thematic. It does make sense in terms of the hand like that, but why is it only one hand and not two hands? But Maria does wear a lot of rings.
Don't
so
get
maybe.
fucking nerdy on me.
I don't know. Look, this is shit. Does it matter? Does it change it? No, I'm kidding. Anyway, so James is very distraught about this. He essentially had to watch his wife die twice, right? And he just watched a lady
Well,
who...
that's not his wife. That's Maria.
No, but a lady that looked just like his wife. So, like, he saw the face, essentially, of someone that looked just like his wife die again, and that really fucks him up internally. The music is somber. The fucking tone, you can cut it with a knife, man. James is slumped on the ground. The elevator doors open behind him, but he can't be bothered to move. This man is depressed, and the tone is heavy as the soundtrack just plays this little piano that, like, you know, it's sad, but you gotta keep moving. Which is the exact opposite tone that you're gonna get when you bonk him on the head for fucking 30 minutes. So that was a nice whiplash for the stream. But anyway, you eventually find that the director's room is open, and you could go ahead and enter it. And it's interesting because in the director's room, there's a note that tells
Yeah, I'll be
James
Chewie. I
to
wanna be
look
Obi-Wan,
for
but I'll
a
be
letter and
Chewie.
a wrench.
I need to level them up.
I think it's very philosophical too. It's hypothetically, I mean, it could be assumed that it's written by the hospital director, who we do meet in another thing, but we don't actually know. But it can be assumed it's him. I just don't know. We're gonna have to bring up Ernest somewhere. Anyway, so while you're looking at that, you see
Oh, hey, it's Darth
Laura
Maul.
walk by the window outside, meaning Laura has left the hospital, and James takes it upon himself to go after her.
Have you ever met some kid so unwilling to be saved, and just James is like, I'm gonna save you whether you like it or not?
I feel like Silent Hill does this a lot, actually. Cheryl runs away a lot. Laura runs away a lot. Josh runs away a lot.
Oh yeah, Homecoming.
I feel like Silent Hill 2 does it better because in this... Silent Hill 2 and 1 do it better because it feels like they have fucking motive for running away. Laura feels a little bit more artful, but we'll get into that. Anyway, moving on. So at the door, James actually has this he doesn't do this often, but he has like a little monologue with himself where he's like, I failed to protect Maria, I'm failing to protect Laura, Mary, could you really be in this town? And this is the best part. And he says, or is this your way of ... And you're like, huh? What do you mean by that? What do you mean is is this your way of? What are you trying to say? So you don't know what that means. And you're basically now left with Silent Hill at night, which is
Which is even creepier.